Hello everybody, this is Jacob from Wager Me This. Today I want to talk about why I don't mind random shooters, and I would show you the difference between random and controlled, but that would mean I have to be controlled, and I'm not. So I'm just going to show you random, which is what I am. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to explain why I don't mind random shooters at all. Not just because I'm a random shooter is why I don't mind them, but I don't mind it because I'll explain. All right, so right here, these are going to be, we're going to shoot 5 shooters, all right? So let's talk about what I think I'm going to expect in these 5 shooters. Okay, I think 2 out of the 5 shooters are going to go less than 6 rolls. And then I think 2 of the 5 are probably going to go between 6 and 10 rolls. And then I think I'll probably get 1 roll or 1 shooter over 10 rolls. Now, 5 shooters might not be the exact amount you need to see this, but it's the averages, right? It's the natural averages of rolling 2 6-sided dice that, you know, the 7 will come 1 out of every 6 times when you roll 1,000,000 times. But each shooter should last about 8.5 rolls. I don't think that happens at the tables as much as people think, but that is what the math gurus say it should. If you took all the rolls ever, they should be around 8.5 rolls long overall on the average. That should be the average. Honestly, if it was 8.5 roll average, I think most people would make money that have any sense at the game. So I'm guessing we don't see that as much. But so because I'm not going to be able to show controlled shooting, at least not to any effect that I can prove it's happening, I'm just going to talk about the random side of it. So we're going to do our 5 shooters. I'm going to play a very simple 160 across with a half press, and we're just going to see where we end up after 5 shooters. Now, mind you, this could easily turn into 0, right? We could lose all of these. We could win. We could win on every shooter as well. It's not nowhere near as cut and dried as people might want to think. Because it's such a small sample size that anything can happen here. We could have 5 shooters that all roll over 10 rolls. It could easily happen. So there's shooter 1. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 5 shooters. Grab some dice. Let's take 3D there. All right. We'll be off on the comeouts. And I'm just going to half press, like I said. That way we're playing a style, a type of strategy, right? 160 across with a half press is a strategy. Half pressing willy-nilly is not a strategy. You actually have to have a thought process and a base to have a strategy. Otherwise, it's just a part of a strategy, a move, you know, a concept. It's not a full strategy. So here we go. We're starting out with a 7, all right? We're off, so that's not a huge deal. 5 deuce. All right, next roll. And again, there's been a lot of talk about random versus controlled recently in the CRAPS community, and just a lot of the stuff that some of the bigger channels are doing. I'm not promoting one side or the other. I'm just saying that I don't mind random shooters because to me, the vast majority of rolls you see, even from controlled shooters, are going to be random or inherently random. So they don't bother me. Random shooters don't bother me at all. 6, 4, 10 on our point. All right, now let's see how many. Hold on, I need to mark something, right? Let's do it in white and blue chips here. So this roll has already had a 7, a 7, and a 10. All right, we're going to mark it. Each roll, how many rolls it rolls. And there's a 10 back to back. Nice. All right, we're going to win 50. I'm not going to worry about a dollar big here. We'll half press it. Puck comes off. Rack up some profit. Mark another roll. All right, so there's already been 4 rolls on this random shooter. There's an 11. That's the 5th roll. And 7, that's the 6th roll. So this is the kind of stuff that can happen with a random shooter as well. He can just keep on going because he's rolling 4 numbers and 7s. And there's a 4 on the come out. So right here, this shooter has shot 6, 7 times. I think there's been 3 7s and 11 and 2 10s. Now we got a 4. And that's the kind of stuff that can happen, guys. That's why there's another 11. That's why when I hear so much talk about random being so bad, I don't think random shooters are bad at all. I think it's all just in how you play the game. I think it's all just in what. There's a 10. Very nice. Oh, it's not an 8, guys. I rolled that dice. That's going to win 100 again. I'm not going to worry about the big. I'm going to press 50, collect 50. You guys can subtract the big out later. I'm not really caring. Oh, we need a marker roll. So we're at 9 rolls. It's a pretty good shot for a control shooter. That means he's doing well. There's a 12. It's going to be our 10th roll. And a 4, that's the point. Very nice. All right, so 11th roll. It's going to win 50. All right, box numbers are off. And there's a 9, okay. I believe all we need is the 8 for the tall. Well, never mind. Never mind, I don't know because we rolled some 7s in there. Probably need more than that. And a 9, wow, this guy is hitting points. He is hitting points. All right, so it's going to be a $35 winner. And again, we're already at 13 rolls, guys. It's 35. Actually, you know what? Let's just, instead of a half press, let's do a green chip press. Because it's going to be easier on Jacob to do it that way. Let's do a green chip press, half press, whatever. All right, there's our 7. All right. So let's knock these off. Let's put 1 red chip here. We'll do all this in a second. So we got another blue chip. So on this shooter we rolled 14 times. So many come out 7s. 14 shots. And what do we got to show for it? $110. All right. We were 160 across. Let's drop another 160 here. So first shooter, 16 rolls. Let's mark it. All right, 16 rolls. shooter number 1. And again, guys, this is how random works. This next one, these next two could be PSOs. I mean, but you're just trying to play within the parameters of the math of the game. All right? And you're trying to do some things to help yourself out, press, collect, regress, you know, whatever you do, spread out, bring it back in. There's a 9, okay? We'll mark them like this. Next to the shooter it is. And PSO, so I kind of called that. All right, so it's a 2-shoot shooter. 2-shot shooter. It's really early in the morning. All right. We'll drop our 160 again. You guys hear a little squeaking sound? It's my dog, our puppy. All right, here we go. We got a 12. 12 on the come out. See, that's another thing in craps you got to remember. If you're not playing the horn numbers, those are all dead numbers. Those are all dead plays, dead rolls that you're going to have to deal with inside of your strategy, inside of your expected rolls and all that stuff. There's a 7 still coming out. So inside of your expectation of the rolls, if you're not playing the horn numbers, you have to count them as dead. 617. We have had a ton of 7s in this video. And a 3. So right now we've rolled 4 times, guys, and haven't had any action at all, because it's all been 7s and horn numbers. And this isn't uncommon, guys. This happens. All right, there's a 6. Our 5th roll, we finally set a point. Very similar to the first roll. There's a 10, all right, so we get a winner. We're gonna get 50, we're gonna half press, or green chip press. Oh, did I mark that roll? I don't think I did. All right, so there's aces. I'm gonna put 2 blue chips down. If I'm off 1, that's fine. And there's a 6, that's the point. He's bumping my stuff around. Sorry, my dog messed this up a little bit. All right, it's gonna be a $35 winner. Again, we'll green chip press it, which means, in this case, a full press. Mark it. Here we go. 9 is the new point. 6 or 5-4. Sorry. 5-4-9. Mark it. We're at 9 rolls, and I think we've had 2 winners. And that has to do with how the rolls rolled out, right? There's a 4. That has everything to do with how the dice roll. So because there was a lot of come out 7s and 11s and 3s and horns and points hit, so that makes another dead roll if you're not going to work on the come out. There's just so many times. There's a 6. There's so many times that the dice can be dead. It's another advantage the casino has. 70. Let's press a green chip. So in this case, we've had a second long roll that's really not been effective, right? And not really all that effective. And there's the 9, okay? And if I miss a roll here or something, guys, I might, sorry if I do. Press that 9. See, I don't know if I just marked that one or not. This is a come out. I think I did mark it. But sorry, I'm doing all this at the same time. It's actually hard. There's an 8. So as you can see, this roll's going really long here. And we really don't have a lot to show for it. There's aces. Like, as long as this roll's been, you'd think we'd be sitting over here with $500-600 in profit. The fact of the matter, it's been a bunch of horns. There's the 8 point, a bunch of point maids, and a bunch of sevens on the come out. And guys, so while I do love random shooters, this is also something you get involved with randoms, more so than people that claim to be a controlled shooter. All right, here we go. And a 4 the hard way. So here we go. That's still a come out roll. So we need to hit some of these rolls that are not come out rolls. Would be nice. Here we go. And 7 out. Perfect. We'll count up them rolls in a second. Let me reset up all this. What did we end up with here? $17 roll. All right, drop 160 again. We'll have to leave our last 160 out there, I guess, because the first one I dropped, so the last one will play. It'll be just out there. So we've had a 16 roller, a 2 roller, and a 17 roller. Not exactly how I thought this would play out, but similar. Remember, I said it'd be really all over the place. All right, here we go, coming out. There's a 9. That's the point. Again, because we're not working, that isn't a winner. It's a roll though. There's a 6. That's going to win 35. Press it up. And a 5. I think that's our first 5. $35 winner. Press it up. And the 7. Okay, so this one, it made it what, 4 rolls? So let's mark it 4 rolls. All right, our last shooter of the day. Last shooter, let's pull this on down. Here we go. There's a 9. An 8. All right, 6 deuce. Back-to-back 8s, very nice. That's going to help. That's going to win 70. All right, so I didn't mark my last 8 either, so we're going to mark 2 8s. And a 9, all right, that's the point. Let's go win 35. What we need to do is hit 8s and 9s like 15 more times. Let's mark it. Coming out, we have a 3. Again, another dead roll. This is one of the arguments for being on the come out, playing the horn, doing all those things. There's a 9, because then you don't have dead rolls. You could also lose on those rolls if you're on, where if you're not on, you can't lose. So there's angles to it. 4 to 6. It's going to win 35. Personally, I think if you're playing the pass line, you shouldn't work, because then you are playing a bet that you're trying to take advantage of. If you're not playing the pass line, I don't think it matters whether you're working or not. That's all just preference then. There's a 12. And a 10. Okay, very nice. We're going to win 50. Mark that. I'd like to hit that 8 again. 7 out. Okay. All right, perfect. So we had 9, 10 total. This is going to be 10 total because we did roll that last one. All right. So we had 16, 2, 17, 4, 10. Overall, if you saw this shot pattern, you'd think this shooter was awesome. You'd be like, dang, he killed it. Money-wise, so we had 160 times 5, which is $900 or $800. And we only won back So we only won back 320. Part of the reason is, even though those rolls were really good and really long, they were full of come out 7s, full of horns. So this video has kind of turned into me saying random is fine to shoot with. But because of the rollout here, because of what we saw, even though there was 3 very reasonable rolls, right? Very reasonable. You should be able to make money on them. Because we weren't playing the 7 and we weren't playing the horn, a lot of those were dead numbers. So those actually probably counted as more like 6 rollers or something for us. You know, again, we were half pressing. If we would have just collected all the time, we still probably would have been roughly the same, maybe a little more money, because we did have a couple, the 4 shooter and stuff, and the 10 we didn't really, you know, make a bunch of money on. But either way, what I'm getting at here is that random rollers are fine, because you gotta respect the fact that most people, even that are claiming to be controlled, even if you've seen them shoot 1,000,000 times and their SOR and SRRR are beating the averages and all that stuff, most likely most of their shots are random. And let me explain that. So even a controlled shooter has the advantage of 84% of his rolls are already naturally not going to be a 7. They're just by the way the dice are, the way the probability works, they're already not going to be a 7. 84% of his rolls. So as a person that's trying to control the 7 out of the dice, they're really only controlling 16% of the combinations. That's it. So the fact of the matter is that, is it even worth it? Or should you just expect random and then just play the game inside of the parameters of just that everybody's random? If you just think that way, everybody's random. Even if it's true or not true, if you just think that way and you play that way, then in my opinion, most likely you're going to do better. Because that's what I do. I play as if every shooter is random. Every shooter I play the same way on. I very rarely deviate from a 6, 7, 8 style of play. Now, sometimes I play it a little bigger. Sometimes I play it a little smaller. It just depends on the way I'm feeling. Nothing to do with the person rolling the dice. Now, have I seen people that I thought were manipulating the outcomes? I have. I definitely have. I've been at tables with them. At times, I've thought I was. At times that when I've shot, trying to control the dice, I've thought, man, this is really working. I'm really making a difference here in what I'm doing. Look at, I'm playing so well. But then in the same session, a guy from the hook throws a 30 roller by just chunking them up in the air and doing a magic trick over there, bouncing them against the wall 5 times and tapping his girlfriend on the shoulder 3 times and spinning around before he throws them, and he rolls a 30 roller. So at that point, I'm like, oh, I guess I probably really didn't do anything. I just got lucky. Again, there's nothing wrong with accepting that the game is a random game of chance. You are literally using 2 6-sided dice. Now, there is also nothing wrong with practicing dice control and trying to become good at it. There's nothing wrong with either side of that. All I'm saying is that the hate for randies, as people call them, as randoms, or, random Joes, I've heard all these names. There's not really any reason to hate on them. You're likely going to have very good rolls every session come from a random roller or multiple random rollers. Likely. The thought process, people psych themselves out and they don't get their money out there to take advantage of it. And they're like, oh, that random, just throw a 25 roller, and then we PSO'd, our shots off, and you hear all these excuses. Just play the game. Play the game inside the parameters of the math. Play the game with strategy. You don't have to expect that you're going to be able to control dice, that if it is possible, that it's so difficult that only a handful can really do it. Whereas it's a much easier game to just accept that it's all random and play accordingly. And guys, that's where I'm at now. Do I think people can control the dice a little bit? I do. I think there's some people that can. Do I think I can? No, not really. The only thing I like to think I can control kind of is when I'm throwing for horn numbers. I feel like I do get more horn numbers when I try for them. Again, it could be just perception. But anyways, thank you for your time. And I just want to do a couple of these random videos just because there's so much talk about this again. This is a topic that comes up regularly in the craps community, but it's hot right now, and a lot of people have made videos about it. Even on Jeremy's channel, Color Up, they're talking about it a lot, showing this dice machine and different things on the one thumbnail and all that. And guys, all of these people that are exploring this are great. Everyone that's exploring this, whether you're trying to do it, whether you're trying to disprove it, whatever your angle is on it, whether you're just exploring it and whatever happens, happens, this is all great for everyone. There shouldn't be any negativity around people trying to figure something out. Whether you're for or against it, there should just be no negativity around it. Let people explore it themselves. That, the people that are against dice control and the people that are for dice control on the very polar ends of it, you guys can be vicious sometimes, and there's no reason for it. Sometimes the dice controllers that are just adamant about it, they're just blasting the guys that say it ain't real, and then vice versa. There's just no reason for that. Guys, we're all part of the same community. There's no reason to bash each other over some belief of whatever on the dice game. There's just not. There's not a reason to do it. So please stop that. Yeah, from me asking you guys, just please stop bashing each other over this. I get in arguments with people all the time over my videos, and a lot of times the people that are talking about my videos, it's not even anything in my video. They're just making up conjecture, and I'm like, I didn't even show any of that. There's nothing. The video was even about any of that. This video is just about showing that there's nothing wrong with random shooters. There's nothing wrong with them. Just play accordingly. And when you're with people that are claiming to be controlled, you should also probably play accordingly. That way you don't get burned if they're having a bad day. Anyways, guys, thank you for your time. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.